so eepy. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Like two old people roused from our naps.
Oh,
We go,
man.
what time is, why is the dumpster on fire already?
Oh, man, like we're sorry about last Friday, guys. We were eeping. You were napping for like the past week. Did we miss anything this week?
What happened?
Yeah, did anything crazy happen this week, guys?
I pull out my phone, and my phone just starts screaming at me.
Oh, that's
oh my God!
That's so much red. What's going on?
20% on everything.
Holy fuck! What do you mean? What do you mean? We started a trade war with the whole world. What?
Guys, we didn't even sleep that long. What happened?
Jesus! What Liberation Day? What the fuck? I look around. Jesus Christ! Today was wild, dude.
Oh baby.
Jesus, yeah, we're in World Trade War 1 right now. It was weird because we called it World Trade War 1, like we were almost anticipating the second one.
Everybody squints really hard. Why is there a number after the title?
Why are we? Hey, Mr.
Like some shitty like movie. What's up?
Mr. President, can you explain to me where'd he go? Oh, he's playing golf in Florida. Oh,
he's
cool. So he,
awesome.
You know, there's something really impressive about setting the entire world order on fire and then just being like, I'm gonna hit the green now. I'm gonna go to a tournament.
Level of comfort I wish I had.
It's a level of comfort a close 80-something-year-old would have, wouldn't it? It's just like, I don't fucking care. I'm out of here in a few years.
Really.
Yeah. I wish I could
be
just
like, ship it. I'm being Mar-a-Lago. And they're like, you're gonna be what? Sir, there are world leaders on the phone wanting to talk to you right now. He's like, fly him out here.
Fly.
Tell them I'm gonna be golfing.
We'll give him
talk.
Yeah, we'll give him 50% off the first hour on the green. It'll be good. Sorry, shit's gonna be really expensive. It's crazy what's happened.
Wild. Insane, actually.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, like, there's no fucking surprise here, but also at the same time, oh, my buddy's gone, crowd. I'm shaking you.
Looking around.
You.
What's a tariff? Right?
It's so fucking bad, dude. Well, I knew, because I've got stocks and futures and shit like that, because like a fucking old guy, and so every time I've just learned every time Trump goes, he taps on the microphone and then
just don't do it, Mr. President, please. Please, Mr. President, please, my buddy.
He just taps on the microphone and then just goes
tariff.
And then I just watch the market like a Palinko machine just start going. And I'm like, oh my God. Holy fuck. It was this week was the worst of it, I will say. If you thought the Canada-Mexico tariffs were fucking bad, this week was the worst I had seen the market in a very long while. He made the announcement yesterday. God, it was only yesterday. He made the announcement yesterday. No, I think he made the announcement Wednesday, right? That's what it was. I'm sorry. I'm getting my chain of events up. So Trump makes the tariff.
He just keeps making announcements.
Well, Liberation Day, quote unquote, was Wednesday, is when that happened. He did it at 4 p.m. EST, so just right before the market was about to close for the day. So, he made the announcement. He said what everyone was getting was going to be a beautiful thing. Everything is going to be back in America. La da 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 da. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait and see how bad it's going to be tomorrow, because I knew it was going to be bad tomorrow. And you're literally looking at what's called the Dow futures, which is essentially letting you know, hey, when the markets open tomorrow, it's gonna be bad. And they were like, it was like, all right, so Dow futures suggest about 1,000-point drop tomorrow, and you're like, oh, that's bad. We were at like around 42, 40. I forget what we were at that point. 41,000, 42,000. So about 1,000 of that is just about to go bye-bye. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That we just effectively put a middle finger out to the rest of the world. No, that makes sense. It was worse than that. It was about around 2,000 points. It was about 2,000 points that it went plummeted.
Ooh, twice as bad.
Yeah, and I just kind of looked and went, okay, so that's it's about 5,000 smackaroonies of my portfolio gone. That's okay. That's okay. No, it'll bounce back. It'll bounce back years from now. And so I went to sleep. Yeah, you know, and then I woke up and going, hey, Dow futures again. China's retaliating. I'm like, as they would, as anyone would at this point, as absolutely anyone would at this fucking point. And the EU's like, yeah, we're gonna start working with China now because we can't trust the US. You're like, cool, awesome, great, that's solid, cool. So the Dow dropped another fucking, I don't know, so many fucking points. And I'm like, all right, so since the tariff talks have begun, I'm out about $25,000 right now. That's pretty sick. That's pretty fucking solid of my...
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. It was, because every time someone talks, they're like, fucking Joe Biden ruined everything for me. And I'm just like, I have made so much money under Biden, and I'm not a rich guy. So, like, I don't make $400K a fucking year, you know? Like, I do okay for myself, and I made so much money in the market under Biden. And so it's been really weird seeing some of the responses because you're just looking at everything on fire. You know, whatever news report you go to, you're just watching the arrow go down, 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 crashing down, down, down.
It is my favorite. It's my favorite to watch a politician speaking, and then underneath them is just minus 50 points, minus 100 points. Like, I'm just seeing all the red scales. Like, not a single green one as they're speaking. It's great. That's my favorite part.
And so my favorite part about all this is where people are going, the president said it was like surgery. You know, like it's gonna hurt, but the patient is fine. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are we just... You're just making up shit? All right, man. Okay.
Do not put that man in a surgery, like an operating room at all.
I'm the
Please, dear God.
I'm the best surgeon. Like, he just walks
no, Mr. President.
I'm like, all right, I got analogies too. We flushed the goldfish down the toilet. He might surface back up eventually. We're gonna get a beautiful goldfish. It's just so fucking awful, dude. It's terrible. And for the gamers in the audience who are going now like, hi, Mr. 40-year-old raccoon.
What are you saying to me?
I don't have a portfolio. This doesn't bother me at all. Well, Nintendo has announced that the Switch 2 pre-orders are going to be delayed because they don't know what the fuck's going to happen with these tariffs and how it's actually going to impact shipping units over to the States.
Were you upset at $80 games?
Yeah.
Get ready, baby. They're coming. Even more.
Yeah, what was really funny about it was Nintendo was already apparently talking about, like, everyone's reactions to the price points. And they were like, we're having some bad days right now. Like, people are not happy about these price points. So it almost kind of sounded like, hey, maybe this is a problem we need to figure out. This is something that we need to, you know, solve. And then the tariffs were announced. Said that they were like, we don't even know if we're going to be able to ship out the Switch yet. I don't know. We don't know yet. We have no fucking idea. Because to me, it sounded like, I don't know how authentic this is. It sounded like they were doing their manufacturing from Vietnam specifically because of they knew the incoming China tariffs that were going to happen. So they're like, okay, no problem. We'll manufacture in Vietnam. We're doing pretty good. And then Trump came out and was like, Vietnam tariffs. And he's like, and it was like, damn it. Son of of a bitch! There's no winning. So right now they're like, yeah, we were gonna apparently start pre-order soon. And Nintendo went, oh, we're gonna hold on a moment. We're gonna wait a second. And we're gonna wait and see exactly what the fuck just is about to happen here. You know, we're gonna see exactly what just happened. So again, I'm first of all, I do not provide marketing advice. I was very fortunate that my father was a stockbroker, and he bowed out before. I don't know if I've ever told this story before. He essentially bowed out before the markets collapsed. He smelt what was in the air and went, I'm done with this profession. I'm done. A lot of weird shit's going on in the banks. So he quit.
Don't like that.
Yeah, so he quit around, I want to say 2005 is when he quit being a stockbroker.
Damn.
And 2006 when everything crashed, and you're like, there's a little pat on the back right there. But yeah, he was like, because there was a lot of, everyone was trading loosey-goosey at that point in time. And he was like, that don't
seem right.
Something's going wrong right now. Something's kind of going a little wacky. So he literally just was like, yeah, I'm out. Like, he's like, I'm good. I'm out. We're not doing this. It's all very good. So, yeah.
Smart fellow.
So I went to him and I was like, what do? Build portfolio. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I just wanted to...
money.
I just wanted to make money over a very long period of time. I'm not looking to make money now. I'm looking just to, over time, make money. He's like, all right, here's a very conservative portfolio, son. And I went, mm-hmm. And then I did all of that. And I just said, now you sit there. Now you sit there forever. And it worked. It was
Thank
great.
you, Father.
Yeah, it was. It was slowly making money over years and times. And that's why ultimately at the end, I'm not super worried about what the market is now. Because again, I've always said this before. I'll say it again. 10 years from now, wherever you're at, it's going to be double that. So don't even fret. The key thing with marketing investment, again, I'm not a marketing advisor. Please don't follow anything I said. Is don't use money that you need like right fucking now. You know what I mean? Don't be like, I need to invest, but holy shit, I better make some money because I gotta pay rent this month. Like, don't ever do that. Yeah, don't ever do that. It's long term. You know, get a 401k, get a Roth IRA, get all that shit, and just let it do its thing. Because as I've expressed to people, right, I've said this multiple times, and I still stand by this word. By the time I retire, which is in about, you know, if I'm fortunate, next 25, 30 years, where I can go, I am now a retired individual. I'm not expecting Social Security to exist by the time I retire. I don't think it's ever, I'm paying into something that I know is not going to exist by the time I retire because checks notes, the government's telling me I have to. So
Correct.
It is. So I've always believed in investing in your own retirement and not expecting the government to pay it for you. Apparently when I told my father this, he secretly, like, internally was like, okay, that's not actually gonna happen. And then recently we were at lunch like last week and he was like, yeah, I think you might be right. And that felt good to hear my own father tell me that, hey, it's my world now. I can expect what's gonna happen right now. Yeah, it's probably either the retirement age is gonna get to a point where you have to be 80 to claim it, or it's just not gonna fucking exist. So,
Yep.
Yep, that's.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. If everyone paying Social Security right now, don't think you're gonna get that money back. Don't think at all you're gonna get that money. Because if you do, well, that's a nice little surprise for you, isn't it? And that's why you should look at that. And like, oh my God, I actually got Social Security. God damn. Ooh.
Exactly. You'll be really surprised. You're like, oh my God, wow, my life's gonna be a lot better now.
Yeah. I mean, not a lot better, but like it's gonna be a little bit better. You're gonna be like, oh, I got.
You don't know. Maybe it'll be nice.
I got spending money right now. I got some money. I got some spending money.
I got Vegas money. Is what I got.
You know what? I would. Honestly, truthfully, with the way that I'm expecting Social Security not to exist, if I retired and actually got Social Security, Vegas, baby. I'm putting it all on red. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, baby.
Nice.
Absolutely. And I think we actually talked about that with Trump, where yesterday I was like, how do you bankrupt a casino?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that.
How do you
It's like you just people walk in, they know they're gonna lose money.
Yep.
There's literally like no real threat, as
Yeah.
it were. Like,
Yeah. You've got
I say, all right, give them a drink and then schmooze them up.
Yeah.
And then make them spend their entire life savings on black.
Yeah,
and
you've
they
got-
lose. And
you've
then
got-
we win.
You've got two kinds of people that go to a casino. You've got a person that knows they're going to lose money, but they're going to have fun with it anyways. And then you've got another person who's going to check notes, make it big, and then lose it all. So, like,
That's right. That's right.
you know, obviously sympathies to anyone with gambling addictions, but like, you can't. When the model of a business is the house always wins. Like
I rub my chin.
how do you bankrupt that? How do you lose? How do you lose as a house? How do you lose all that shit? So it's ignorance all around. I'm losing my fucking mind. It's goddamn ignorance because now. So my thing, much like you, is I'll see a post and I'll be like, I'm gonna go down to these responses because I know some dipshit is saying the stupidest, most ignorant thing.
That's right.
Or a Russian bot is saying the stupidest, most ignorant thing.
Correct.
So when this was announced and the markets are going in a free fall right now, and we'll see what happens Monday because now it's going to be a break for a weekend. You know, where market's not. Actually, let me check where we ended. Did we maybe we found it. Now,
Maybe there's a glimmer of hope.
Maybe, yeah, because I did check this afternoon. It was like, good news, dipshit. You're $9,000 poor. And I went, awesome. Thanks. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Let's see. Did I lose any more money? Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad today. It was not good. It was
Nice.
not fucking
Not good.
I think
Not
today,
good, in fact.
I think today was worse than yesterday because of the retaliatory tariffs. I'm just like, oh my
Nice.
god. Well, here's the glimmer of hope that my bleeding liberal heart has. Every time someone has done exactly what has happened here, the Republican Party has suffered huge fucking losses in the elections in the future. In fact, the last time this was done in an attempt to try and fix the Great Depression and only made it worse, Democrats were in power for 60 fucking years after that. So maybe if we roll the dice right, I don't have to deal with this shit for the rest of my life. I don't know. We'll see. But who knows? Because the world is a strange and interesting place. It is an absolutely. You think you know where the wind's gonna blow, and then again the rug just gets pulled right under you, and you go, "Wow, maybe this is people. Maybe this is just what people are." I will say this though. I will say this. I was surprised when Trump got reelected, but I understood why he got reelected because people wanted shit fixed now, and to fix it, it was going to take some time. And the one lesson I took away from that is people don't want a long-term plan. People want to fix now. And when someone goes, oh yeah, I'll do it day one. They'll go, all right, that guy. Okay, good luck.
Get him in here.
Yeah, all right, let's see what you could do. And so now it's far worse than we thought it was going to be. And now their playbook is, hey guys, yeah, I know it's shit right now, but we, it's the hard part's over. Now we're gonna get back to being fucking rich again. And I'm just like, people aren't gonna think that far ahead. They're gonna go, what do you mean I can't get a Nintendo Switch? Like that's what's gonna happen.
Why is it $900?
Yeah.
Why is little Timmy asking me for a game that's $110?
So fingers crossed, knock on wood. That's a lot of stupid shoddy shit right now, and it's very interesting. So, but yeah, market will bounce back. It may take some time. This kind of downturn, it's gonna take some time to recover. Probably more than the dip. So Get ready for the long term. Don't panic just yet. Don't sell everything. When it's in the downturn, you have to wait. You have to wait. You just have to wait it out. Because if you sell now in an effort to cut your losses, you're going to regret it like 12 months down the road when everything's back to normal and you essentially sold on a losing hand at that point in time. So
sold on a panic.
Yep. You freaked the fuck out. So hold on
Nice.
out. You mentioned you had a little funny story for me.
Yeah.
Little haha story. I could use a little haha right now.
Haha story.
Yeah.
Okay. So Momo today took me, along with our other roommate, to go get our eye exams.
Oh, sweet.
It's been a while. I haven't had an eye exam. In fact, as I was filling out the document that they asked you, the little questionnaire, they were like, "When was the last time you had an eye exam?" And I said, 2017. And they were like, "When was the last time?" Or no, it was 2018. They were like, "When was the last time you had a health exam?" And I was like, 2016 when I was in the Navy. And my friend looked mortified because they had just gotten their health exam. So we go in, and I'm talking to the doctor, very lovely gentleman, older gentleman, talking to me about his friend. This man was basically spilling his heart to me about this, like, what I could only assume to be the love of his life, who he did not tell was the love of his life.
Aww.
And was like, I want to find them.
Holy shit.
Very sweet older man.
Oh my God.
In the midst of this heart-wrenching conversation, as he's basically pouring his soul to me, total stranger, by the way. I don't know this man.
The doctor, right?
Correct.
Like a stranger didn't wander into the examination room.
No, the doctor was the one spilling their soul to me, whom I didn't really know, but I guess he found within me kindred spirit.
How did that? Was it literally a moment of like, Mr. DM, how you doing? And you went, good, hope you're doing well. And then he just was at that point broke down at that.
No, it was he was like, because I'm very professional when I'm speaking to people of authority, and I view doctors as people of authority. So when he's talking to me, he's like, okay, so let's see, last time you had your eye exam was 2018. I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, okay, let's see, and is there a reason that you walk with a cane? I was like, oh, it's from a leg injury. He's like, okay. Are you prior service or military? And I went, yes, sir. It was Navy. And he was like, oh, okay. And he starts talking about his friend who was in the Navy. This gentleman. Well, hold on. There's two parts, because again, this man was just spilling his soul to me.
Right.
About a man whom he knew, best friends, basically grew up together. Spent a bunch of time. This gentleman joins the Navy, goes through all of it, serves on a submarine, gets out, goes to college, gets back in the Navy, all this stuff. And then he's talking about the last time he sees them, and he's like, there's like this twinkle in his eye.
Aw.
Where he's like, there's another friend I haven't spoken to in a while. They also joined the service. And I was like, oh? And I let them talk, and it was this person that they spoke of very fondly, and they were like, people were telling me that there's like a registry where you can search up former service members and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, there is. You can search up like service members and stuff like that, see how long they served for and all that stuff. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he kept talking about her. And in the midst of talking about her, where you can see this like longing in his face, he looks down at my prescription and he goes, that's wrong. Like, complete tonal shift. He goes from like, it's like a curious glance the first time, and then he like does a double take at my prescription. And he's like, can I see your glasses again? And I was like, sure. He takes my glasses, he leaves, he comes back, and he's like, your prescription is about 100 points off.
Fuck.
And I went, what? What does that mean? And he's like, your prescription is, the glasses you're wearing right now are actually worse for you than what you should be wearing.
Holy
your
shit.
eyes are better than the glasses you're wearing right now.
Wow.
And he's like, I'm sorry, this has literally never happened.
Huh.
I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, actually, hold on. And he grabs the big fucking evil infernal engine and slaps it on my face. And he's like, all right, I need you to look at this. And this, all right, and this one, which one's better, 1 or 2? And I'm like, oh, 1's better. I can see literally crystal clear. And he's like, no way. Dude, your eyes... Your eyes are better than the glasses you're wearing. Like, I had like a 400 or something like that. He's like, you're down to like a 300.
Right.
Like you should not be wearing they're making your eyes worse, these glasses. And I went, holy shit, that's amazing.
I don't need these anymore.
Correct. He was like, yeah, you don't, we're going to get you much better glasses. Don't worry. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. And then he immediately went back into the retelling of this woman who
her name was Tabitha.
It was great.
Yeah.
Because it was hilarious. My exam was like 4 times longer than my friends because this man was talking to me the entire time, spilling his soul to me. My friend gets in, immediately out. Yeah. Like, no conversation, no nothing.
What do you want?
Dude shook my hand at the end. He was like, yep, stop on by anytime.
That's awesome.
You know, we'll see you around again. We'll see you when you on the 14th when you come get your glasses. I'll be here. And I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, that sounds great.
Sometimes that's what it is. You just kind of quickly connect with someone like that. That's nice. I like that story.
Momo was like, how do you do it? How do you get people to spill your soul, like their soul to you? Because it's happened a lot. It's happened a lot.
You just listen. You have a listening demeanor, and you just that's it. Because there's people. I say on personal experience, people love to talk. People love to talk. They love to talk about themselves. They love to talk about what you're doing. And one of the greatest secrets you get to get, not to get like manipulated, but to have people open up to you, is just listen. Just listen to them. Give them an ear. Show an interest. Show an investment in what they're talking about, and people will keep talking. And a lot of people don't do that, whether it's just personality is just a little, because I can also understand just being awkward or just, being weird around people just because you don't feel, you just have a hard time, right? But yeah, you just let people talk. You can let them yap. And you go, and you just give them an ear. And sometimes it makes the world a difference when, especially if you're alone, right? Especially if not to wear this guy down, but I mean, especially if you don't really have anyone to talk with, and if this guy's pining, it sounds like he might be by himself. You know what I mean? So it's Judging from what this gentleman told me, that was the case. I hope, honest to God, I'm gonna ask him when I come back on the 14th if he found her and called her. Oh, called her.
Yeah.
Does he want to reach out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, you've gotta update us with this story.
That was a big part of what I was pushing when I was there. I was like, yeah, there's absolutely I don't remember the exact name of it, but there's a registry that you can go to and search for service members. If you remember her name, you can find, it won't give you everything, but it'll tell you, how long she served, all that stuff.
Wow.
And from there, you can try to get in contact with her again. And I highly recommend that you do.
That is, was he like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
When we shook hands at the end, and he was like, it was a pleasure having you. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, man, give her a call. I hope that you find your friend. And there was this very warm smile on his face. It was great.
Yeah, he
it definitely made me feel very good.
Yeah. I feel very good about this. And I that's a very sweet story. I like the idea of just a completely different like missed connection story where the doctor like is like, yeah, so I think I'm gonna do this, and you're like, yeah, you should totally fucking do that, and he smiles, and then the next time you see me, like, yeah, what's up? And the guy's like, oh, that was the worst fucking thing I could have done right there. Right?
Oh no!
And you find and you find out, you're like, yeah, apparently she has a restraining order out on me. And you're like, no, oh no.
Oh, the worst ending.
I'm like, but I'm fucked in the head for that. That's the shit that I find funny. I was like, God, you stalk someone 2 times and they think you're a monster.
They leave the country. They join the military to get away from you. Oh no!
No, I genuinely hope that's not the case.
I hope this sweet old man is just that. I hope he's just a sweet old man.
But it'd be kind of funny if, like, you know what I mean? Just like
it would be hilarious, actually.
It would absolutely.
I'm shaking his hand, and he's like, yes.
How do I?
Evil.
Yeah. How do I look her up again? Oh, I see. Money.
Unfettered access, amazing.
I'm such an ass. I'm so sorry. It was such a sweet story, and I came in. It was like, what if he's secretly a sicko?
Realism. No.
Fucked. It's fucked, man. It's absolutely fucked. It's no. I please, when you get your new glasses, I am proud of you for getting glasses, for getting a new set of glasses.
Don't thank me. Thank Momo.
Oh, gotcha. Well, yeah. Okay.
Momo was like, I remember walking upstairs like a week ago, and I was like getting ready to get some water, and Momo like was already dressed, and I was like, oh, where are you going? And she's like, I'm taking our roommate to go get his glasses. And I went, oh,
did she do it in like the Momo judgment voice? Like,
I basically got voluntold, where she was like, we're gonna go get his glasses checked. You should get yours checked too. And I went, that's a lot of money. and she went, well, the consultation's free, so you're fine. And I went, oh. But I'm doing stuff.
What other excuse do you have, dipshit?
Correct. That was basically, I was running out of, I was playing every excuse I had, and she countered all of them. And then we get there, and we find out, oh, the doctor left already, but we can schedule your appointment for later. Find out it is free, but my God, are glasses expensive?
Yes, they are.
I think Momo paid $260 for my glasses.
That's cheap. I wish my glasses were that cheap.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think it's because mine are special because I have an astigmatism. So like I have one lens that's like off than the other. The thing is, I don't really, I prefer wearing glasses because if I don't, my eye twitches and I get headaches because of the astigmatism. Yeah, so I wear glasses just to kind of rest my eyes, because what happens with astigmatism, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, I always get confused with astigmatism and stigmatism, because I always feel like people are saying astigmatism, so it's an astigmatism. So, so what happens with an astigmatism is when your glasses, if you're not wearing glasses, you essentially have your eyes trying to constantly correct your vision. They're straining. They're working in overtime. So I have one eye that's worse than the other. So they're constantly trying to keep my vision in balance, essentially. And so your eyes kind of begin to twitch. You get a little bit of the headache. So when I take my glasses off, I can tell I have an astigmatism because my eyes have been, taking a break. They've been taking it fucking easy at that point. But if I left the glasses off for like, a few weeks, I'm sure my eyes would begin to strain again. I have to get new glasses because I found out the glasses they gave me were like a starter pair, like kind of like instead of just like immediately going to what prescription I did need, it was like a step down. So my eyes could adjust to wearing glasses because it'd be the first time wearing glasses. And then I said, yeah, you can upgrade your prescription. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I spent like $600 on these fucking glasses. No fucking way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said. So, but now these glasses are falling apart, and I would like newer glasses. So, some point this year, I'm gonna go and get the prescription I'm actually supposed to do. I think I'm gonna do Like the thick black border glasses just look like a real fucking artsy nerd, you know?
Dude, my glasses right now are like black frames. They've got like the double rim, like the double bridge on top. I've posted my glasses before. I've doxed my face because I'm a very handsome gentleman. The glasses I got now, they fuck.
Yeah.
They're like these like sleek, like black and gold frames. They match my cane, dude. It's so good.
Damn! You got spinners on your cane too, and there's like
that's right.
You got fire like painted on the cane going up. Oh my god, hell yeah, man!
They look so good.
Nah,
they make my eyebrows look really nice too. I'm gonna be twice as handsome. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be the new glasses you got.
Yeah.
Oh motherfucker! Did you get? If you're getting the glasses that I want to get, and we start doing the shorts once you get your webcam, that's gonna be fucked if we're wearing the same pair of glasses. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real.
I don't think we're gonna get the same pair of glasses. Mine are like black and gold. They have like a
black
nice,
and
like,
gold. Yeah, I don't want gold. I don't want gold. I don't want that. I just want the black rim glasses, or as someone in our community called it, the Drew Carey, which is so funny. Well, which Drew Carey? You know, which Drew Carey is it? Because there's like two versions of the. No, I think you're. Maybe it is kind of like. I don't fucking know. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll put it. I'm gonna put it on my face. I'm gonna see how it looks. If I don't like it, then I won't get it. It's just that simple. It's just gonna be.
That's exactly how it works. That's smart.
That's just we're just gonna. I mean, especially if you're gonna spend all that fucking money. What pisses me off about vision insurance, because I got vision insurance, and I paid like extra 10-15 bucks a month for it. I go, finally, vision insurance. This will help with my eye exams and my glasses. And they go, you need, no, what was it? I either have eye insurance or vision insurance, but whatever I have is not the thing that pays for my glasses. It's like, it's the thing that happens if something happens to my eyes. And they're like, and I'm like, that's stupid. That's the dumbest.
That's a fucking scheme right there.
Oh my God. What is it? What the fuck is it in this fucking country? God damn. So, but I was like, yep, I'm responsible. I got vision insurance or eye insurance or whatever. They're like, oh, no. What you want is this insurance. That's what's going to help with the glass. I'm like, fuck. Oh my God. Actually, you know, let me make sure these don't have expiration dates. Oh boy.
Expiration? Oh.
Well, I have to the shop that I get my glasses. I gotta get on this like now. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have a coupon here for 50% off lenses. And I'm like, yes, please. Lenses are fucking expensive. So I do anti-reflective lenses with the purchase of a frame. Oh, I see. So you got to purchase lenses and frames, and it's so fucking.
I mean, that works out, right? You're gonna get new prescription, so you do the half off for that, and then you get your new frames.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah, you are correct. But I need to do that like next. You know what? Next week. I have to do it next week. And also, Masay has been wanting me to do it because she doesn't want to go get her glasses taken care of alone, but she also doesn't want to like call anybody. And I'm like, you're gonna have to talk to somebody. It's like, nope. Don't want to talk to people. I'm like,
Make the machine do it.
That's where I'm saying like, I don't even think you have to talk to anyone. I think you could just type it in, you know? I think you can just make a fucking appointment. So it'll be good. It'll be good. So we definitely need to get that. Well, Crowned, it finally happened. D&D retirement. It's finally happening.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what a way to announce it.
What a way to announce it.
Mark the day. It is April 4th, 2025, 7:46.
Yep. Yep. It
1946, sorry.
1940, what? Oh, military time. I see what you're doing. I thought you were like, the year is 1946. I'm like, yeah, man.
That's right.
That's right. For those that don't know, today, an announcement was made that Mr. Christopher Perkins is retiring from Wizards of the Coast. He's been with Wizards of the Coast for 28 years, and he made a tweet today. He made the announcement, and then the D&D accounts followed in suit. he was the lead designer, one of the lead designers of D&D, and he announced that he's retiring from Wizards. And I'm like, God damn, that is the end of a fucking era, dude. That is the end of a goddamn era. He's been there since Wizards adopted D&D, essentially, you know?
Correct. Yeah, since they bought it from TSR.
He wrote, one of the books he wrote was the Book of Exalted Deeds for 3E. I remember I've got that book with his name on that. It is wild to me. It makes perfect sense, but it is wild to me. And I can't help but get my little tinfoil hat on and just going, you know, like, I don't know. It's when anyone announces a retirement, you just kind of go, are you retiring? Or are they asking you to, like, or are you leaving because you're just like, yeah, I think we're done here, you know? Because obviously you have to save face, right? You have to make sure that you can't be like, fuck these people about. Like, there obviously has to be a, like, hey, I want to go. These are my options. This is what I want to fucking do, yada, yada, yada. In exchange, you're going to give me this, and I won't trash you or whatever, you know? And I'm also certain there's like, you know, like, what's the, not gag orders, but essentially there's like, NDAs and all that stuff. Yeah. All right, but again, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's actually happening, but I will say, it is going to put D&D in a different spot now, because if you know, now that Perkins is, I've looked at Chris Perkins as half of the lead design team. I'm sure there's other lead designers, but when you think designers, you think Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford. Mm-hmm. So with Perkins gone, if Crawford leaves, then it's gonna be a different game at that point in time. I feel like whatever gets developed and everything, it's gonna be different. It's gonna feel different. It's definitely gonna be a new generation of D&D that is happening. So I had mixed feelings today. I genuinely had mixed feelings about that announcement, but also at the same time, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's going on with Wizards of the Coast and D&D. As it is right now, I'm not super impressed with what they've been doing, right? But it is also like that mixed feeling of like one of the OGs are stepping down, essentially, and you're just like, God damn, man. Like,
it is one of the old guard retiring, which is a very interesting situation to be in, because I believe there's one other big lad left.
Which is Crawford, Jeremy Crawford.
Crawford, correct.
Yeah. And if Crawford, like, man, if Crawford retires this year, something's going on. There's some sort of restructuring happening.
There's my big thought, my tinfoil is that either they're being bought out, and basically being like, yeah, leave.
Yes. No. So that was my big tinfoil as well. That
interesting. Okay, nice.
Is that I was trying to figure out what it was, and I was looking for it because, you know, I'm a little eepy today. But I was like, there was something I was thinking of, like, you know, you could also be leaving because of this, and it may as well been like, you know, Perkins may be in the know of something that's about to happen and bowed out before it all went to hell. Like, he kind of took the opportunity to
took his severance and was basically like
tip his hat and say, I'm retiring before, you know, before ByteDance purchases out of D&D or whatever, you know?
Okay, raked across. You know, if anything bad happened, he was going to get raked across the coals. So he's like, get me out of here before some truly heinous shit occurs.
Right. So I'm thinking like either a buyout or like there's something major changing with it. That could be it. Or he could just be done. You know, I don't know. Like, I think our brains definitely like to think about but what's really going on? Like, definitely likes to quickly shift to that, right? Because especially with everything that's happened everywhere, you just can't, as a defensive mechanism almost, you just kind of have to be like, what? So what? Maybe there's something else at play here. And I don't know, maybe there isn't, but we'll see. Like, when lead designers are retiring, you know, or are leaving, it may be like, hey, in 6 months we're about to get bought out by Google or whatever, you know. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and like I said before, it really doesn't make a fucking difference to you or me, because building my own version of 5e. You're on Pathfinder now, and
Yes, sir.
we've got an SRD in the open in the Creative Commons. So like, it really just doesn't matter one way or another. I think it's, I don't know. Like, I feel like you sort of have. Is it fair to say that you have a sort of like personal, not like obviously whatever happens isn't going to affect you, but there is kind of still that part of you that wants to know what's going to happen to D&D.
Yeah, like there's as much as I as much as I you know, I joke and I gaff around and shit like that. Ultimately, I still care about the well-being of Dungeons and Dragons because it was a huge part of my like my introduction to like TTRPGs. It's how I met a metric ton of my friends.
Exactly.
It basically started my fucking career.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be like, I pray for its downfall would be some like evil, like truly evil shit for me to do.
Absolutely not.
And I also want it to be good because I hope that somebody else out there gets to experience the same things I did.
Of course.
You get to have those memories. Like I've talked a ton about like my first ever, like how I met my first ever dungeon master and shit like that, and how I made friends through that, and my first ever level 20 character and everything. So like I hope that whatever the fuck they do, money grubbing or not, the biggest thing for everybody to remember, honest to God, is that you don't need the books to play Dungeons and Dragons with your friends. Hell, nowadays you don't even need dice to play Dungeons and Dragons with your friends.
Oh, don't say that to a D&D diehard, man. They'll at that point they'll just be like, "You're not playing D&D then. You're not playing D&D."
I pinch their lips shut.
Yeah.
You can play Dungeons and Dragons any number of ways, and thankfully, with the modern technology that we have now, even on a shit phone, you can pull up Google or Safari or whatever and just type in a dice roll.
Yeah.
And that's literally all you need is paper and a pen, and maybe grab like a set of dice from fucking the dollar store if need be, and if not, use a phone.
Yeah.
That's all you need for Dungeons and Dragons nowadays. And I can assure you that when you play that and you have fun with your friends doing that, those will be memories you keep forever.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think ultimately I give the hardest time to Wizards of the Coast, not because I am just so like I want D&D to downfall or anything like that. I think it's because I care about the game. I care about the concept of D&D. You know what I mean? That's what I care about. No matter what edition you're playing, no matter how it's remixed, and then it kind of branches off just to TTRPGs in general, you know. And it is because I have so many positive memories and influences with D&D, and it's just changed my life in so many ways, in so many directions, that I want it to succeed. I want it to continue to flourish and grow. And I get so frustrated and upset when I see a company look at it as a cash cow that they sacrifice the value of it, you know. And
they rub their chin and they go, how can we bleed this dry of all it's worth?
That's the frustrating part to me. And so for me, it's definitely mixed emotions, right? Because when you go, yeah, Wizards of the Coast sucks, I'm talking the corporate side. I'm talking the side that's like, how do we make money off of this? You know, that is the thing that frustrates me. I wish, because I know, and that's what also breaks my heart. And obviously I don't want to speak on behalf of people, but it's also like imagine designing for D&D and you are just watching your company do things that kind of just is clearly profit oriented, profit motivated, and probably in the end may even hurt the product, right? When you look at all the times that people have been laid off because of the corporate side, I don't know anyone at Wizards of the Coast anymore. Like I had a few people I knew and knew of, I don't know anyone anymore from Wizards of the Coast. And that, to me, is like, okay. Because they've been laid off, because everyone's just like, yeah, we're not doing that, blah, blah, blah. In fact, one of the latest, besides Sigil, I mean, I think the content creator team took a pretty big, nasty hit, you know? So it's just...
Really?
Yeah. I lost my contact there, who was part of that team. He's only finally getting back into recovering it, but it's... what do I know? You know, at the end of the day, it's... Well, it is. It's just like, I'm an old soul, maybe a romantic to the system. You know, maybe I'm overreacting. You know, I do worry that with how hard and critical I am of the fact that I'm like, it really sucks you didn't include rules to make monsters. You know, it really sucks that you're not being transparent about the development of the SRD so third party can build for D&D 2024. You know, like, maybe these are things that people aren't interested in. This might just be an old man shaking cane at Cloud, and it might just be me, because I also recognize, you know, we as well are kind of approaching that generation where it's not gonna be about us. It's gonna be about the newer generation, you know?
Oh, no. I look around. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's something I've had to be dealing with recently, where I'm like, you know, maybe I'm late to the party and I'm recognizing it, but like, you know, I'm not the demographic. Yeah, I'm not the things that I like might not be what the current demographic likes now. You know, the 20-somethings, teen-somethings, you know, maybe this is what people want, and I'm the one that's having, you know, an issue, you know, having my own issues with it. And that can feel very lonely. Does that make sense? Like, that can feel very lonely, where you're like, am I doing this because I'm genuinely upset with the direction it's going because I think it's hurting people? Or am I being selfish because it's only affecting me?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's honestly a good, like, self-reflection moment. To, like, sort of take everything in and be like, okay, am I upset because it's actually hurting me? Or am I upset because I'm not included? Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I mean, I guess so. I think it's just more of like, it's less of am I being included? And I think it's more of like coming to the acceptance that what I want is not what everyone wants, you know, like, and that might just be me, you know, where
I wonder if there are people out there who are like, who just couldn't give a rat's ass about monster making. They're like, why would I need to make monsters?
Maybe. It could very well be. I don't know. My argument has always been introducing the toolkit of how to build your own shit. It was a real big inspiration and motivator for like for game designers, for aspiring game designers. That's why I fell into D&D, was because it was a way to scratch that game design itch. It was a way to create something, design it, and then see it come to life. And I've always loved that since playing in high school to now, when we're writing shits for books and things like that. You know, it's an artistic expression. But it really is frustrating when you have a company that's just going, we're not gonna cater to that anymore. You're now a story writer, you're not a game designer. And that's kind of frustrating, you know, because again, I'm big on the game design. I've always, my entire life, have had a passion for game design. I would in elementary school, instead of paying attention to class, as any good ADD, ADHD student would be, I would be drawing on paper. And what I would draw was essentially like mock-ups and screens for video games I wanted to make and produce, like battle screens and things like that, and menu interfacing, and funny enough, maps, like drawing like top-down maps, because I was big into turn-based RPGs. So I was drawing maps, I was writing up bosses and creatures and enemies and random encounters, and I would give them arbitrary stats. They didn't mean anything. There was no system behind it. I just was like, yeah, this feels right. This would be a 72 attack and a 50 defense, or, I just didn't have any of that. So for me, historically speaking, I've always had that game design itch, and then when I got into finding out there were programs where you can design, top turn-based RPGs like RPG Maker. I mean, when I found out RPG Maker existed, my world exploded. It was like, oh my God, I can make the games now. But then I encountered the other problem where like I would do like I would design the first dungeon of a game, be like, all right, now to continue. And I'd go, oh wait, but I have a better idea. And then I would abandon that and then work on something. And that's what I got into that loop of like game design became more of an exercise than actually me designing something. But then D&D came around, and yeah, I had a lot of fun just designing for D&D, and it's well, for 5e, I can't legally say I designed for D&D. So yeah, so it is. But seeing where it's doing and what it's turning in, and having these tool sets not be included is a bit heartbreaking for me, I think. Like, most definitely.
Well, I think there is a takeaway from that, where it might be where we're in a situation where somebody out there is going to look at a lack of rules and say, wait a minute, why don't I have this?
Waves hand.
Why don't we have this? And then they go, I wonder if I can make rules for that.
That's true.
I think we might get a scenario like that where somebody goes, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do it.
I mean, you're not to brag about myself, but like, that's why I'm working on the monster level system, and you've seen some of the tables I've dropped. They're like fully fleshed. No, they're fleshed out in the sense they're ready for testing, and they're not fleshed out in the sense that it's good to go. But I mean, like, just tables developed, and yeah, it's been fun trying to figure out like a solution for that. So like I have enjoyed designing that shit. I'm frustrated that we got to that point, but I'm happy that I'm working on it. I'm making it. I'm designing something. That's where I'm at personally.
Yeah, we'll probably get in the same situation where somebody down the line, playing the game, playing D&D, 2025 is gonna go, I want to take this Manticore from the book, and I want to make it really fucking scary. And they're like, how do I do that? And then they start flipping through the book, and they go, oh, what if it had like a dragon ability?
Yeah.
And then they start taking bits and pieces.
You
and
start
then
reverse engineering.
Really all you need.
Yeah, you start reverse engineering. Absolutely. I mean, I know personally that's what I did with magic items, where you had to like reverse engineer what does everything cost, et cetera, et cetera. And we've kind of got a foundation for that now internally with IO Publishing, but I need to go into it and like further break it down, further break that down, break down spells. I need to look at more research materials of like how to actually craft spells. What are the costs to do so? Because as I've showed you, I have a we do have a cantrip building system where you can actually, and it works perfectly. I absolutely love it. Card. Yeah, you could build your own cantrips, which I thought was really fun. And I got a re-release for the Patreon, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it is. Part of that is just reverse engineering is also really fun for you breaking it down. I guess for me, I've always been someone who is like, hey, just be genuine, be genuine even if it hurts. I hate falsitudes, and I hate, putting a smile on your face in front of someone when you've actually got your fist clutched up. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, because I want to take you at face value is my thing. My issue is I just want to trust you. I want to give you the best. Like if we have had a friendly exchange, I will at that point assume nothing but the best for you. And until you prove otherwise and show, deceit or deception or whatever. The moment you do that is when I just go, okay, I can't trust. I have to kind of withdraw a little bit, because it's weird. It's weird. It's weird how that works. But like, because I've had plenty of times where I went, oh, like this is good. Things are going well, blah, blah, blah. And then I will have the rug just pulled right out of me. And then I'll just and I fall on my ass and then I go, okay. And, and unfortunately that has put me in a position where I just go, all right, like,
okay.
Yeah, it is. It's like, you kind of have to walk with an air of caution because it's, I think personally, I can have a hard time reading people, which fucking sucks, but,
Interesting.
We've talked about this before, I definitely want to one day, like, get one of them checkups, get one of those, like, hey, hey, doctor, what's going on? And they go, ooh, you're level 10 autistic. And I go, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know, but it'd be, I think it's not, I think for me, it's not that I want to be autistic. It's more of like, I want to know what the fuck my brain's doing and maybe learn something about that.
Answers would be nice.
Yes.
Answers would be nice.
You're talking about yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
There have been a lot of moments where I've sat down and I've been like, why do I do this?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
How can I hyper fixate on a thing so strongly that it's like damaging? Like it like consumes me wholly. Like how can a person do that? I need answers, doctor. Tell me.
For the audience at home, just a little bit of insight. Crown during these podcasts is working on his game. Like, while we're talking and having a conversation, he's working on his fucking game. And I'm not saying that to call him out. I'm saying that I would have never known that. Because Crown has this gift to not multitask where he's not giving me 50% and the game 50%. He's giving his game 100% and me 100%. It's
say that as I just fixed something on a map I'm working on, which is crazy.
Like Crown is one of the few fucking people I accept will probably be working on something while I'm talking to him. But it's okay because we're still having a conversation and he's listening to what I'm saying.
Because on my face, I was not ready to be called out.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I thought about it for a moment and I went, nah, it'd be really funny if I it'd be really fucking funny. Crown's working on something even as we speak right now.
I look around.
Oh, shit!
Wait a minute.
Is the cam on now? What the fuck? And the reason, so normally when people do that pisses me the fuck off. But with Crown, I know he's actually listening and paying attention, and we can have a fucking meaningful conversation. There are other people that try to do that and don't fucking do that whatsoever, and I have to be like, yeah, I know you're in the middle of playing something. I know you're just going,
I've had players before in my games.
Oh, hate it.
Play like video games.
Hate it.
And I know they're not paying attention because something meaningful will happen for their character, and I don't get a response from them. And I'm like, okay. All right. I mean, that's your character right there.
Or you'll get someone who will ask a question that has already been answered 2 minutes before. And it's it's because you're playing a fucking game right now. I want to be clear. Okay. My rule at the table is I don't care because we've all got ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it. We've all are distracted all the time, and if we're not the main focus, we're fucking bored, and we are constantly. Well, we're in a mental state of like dopamine. Like, well, I need the dopamine. So yeah, so you're playing something, you're scrolling on Twitter, you just because it's very scary. We are a side note, teachers. Remind me about teachers after I make this point. So
okay.
Yeah. So I get it. Like, so if I'm DMing or running a game and you're doing something else because you are not involved in that moment, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. The only time it becomes an issue to me is when I can tell.
Ooh. Have you ever had somebody like playing with you in a game and then their mic like picks up the game that they're playing?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I won't call it the person because I do love him dearly, but I fucking heard the switch. No. What did I hear? I heard them ask their partner, "Hey, can you get me the switch?"
Nice.
At the beginning of the fucking game, and I'm like, motherfucker.
That's very good.
You turd. It would have been worse if I heard the Nintendo sound like turn on in the middle of the fight.
I love that there being like a moment of silence where like that usual like moment of calm.
You
that
hear
happens.
it. You hear it off in the distance, like their head turned away the bike. You're like, "Hey, can you give me the switch?" Like that's what it was. And I was like, "You motherfucker, I don't want to be the rude guy. Don't want to call out egg on their face about it."
Hey!
Like, well, I don't want to call him out. That would be rude. It is.
Okay, hey, leave Zelda alone.
We have, and again, I don't want to rag on this person. We literally have, like, me and like a bunch of other people, like, actively know they're just doing something else.
So funny.
Like, and that's the joke we tell them. Like, you know, they'll ask something, and then one person will literally just be like, you know, "Yeah, we did that while you were playing your game." like that kind of, just egg on their face kind of thing, you know? Oh my God.
I have tried to play games during D&D, but I find that I often get very immersed. I can suspend my disbelief and play the giant lizard man or play, you know, the sleuthy rogue or what have you. I get very immersed because I also care about what other people's characters are doing, because it's all D&D is all reactionary, right?
Right.
So I've tried playing games during D&D because I'm like, oh, I mean, you know, this is going to be like a laid back session, a chill session.
I might as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't work. Like, I struggle to play the game because I feel like
that's fair.
With a game, I have to put, like, I don't know. I feel like when you're doing something like that, you're pulling yourself out of whatever other things are happening.
So what you're saying? Are you saying like you have a hard time playing like a video game while you're doing that, or are you saying like because your attention is half on the game, so that when someone goes crowned, and then you go like you have to make sure that you're aware enough. Yeah, exactly. Which means you're not really paying attention to the game that you're playing, but you're also not paying attention to the D&D game either.
I've tried it. It just doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah.
So, you know, props to those people that can do it and play the game, but also, you know, there's nothing wrong with you know, waiting 3 hours to play your game while your dungeon master is sweating their nuts off trying to give you a fun weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. Is that a little spike? Is that a little sauce on your eggs here?
No, man.
Oh, there's just absolutely a little sauce on those eggs right there.
No.
It is like when you are like, yeah, it's just when you're not paying attention, you're just like, God, why am I wasting my fucking time on this? You know?
Yeah. You're like, hey man, I made you this thing. Like I made this character moment because I was like, hey, you haven't had a character moment in a while. And I look around and then 30 seconds pass of dead air and I go, hey. And you go, huh?
Snap in front of their face.
Oh, you weren't listening. Now the moment's not going to be as important now.
Okay, no, repeat the moment. I'm in it now. Just don't do the whole thing again.
I go, okay.
You do this.
Very well.
You do this sweet, meaningful moment. It's silence, and then all you hear is, "Hey, can you give me the switch, please?"
I mute my call. I call them on Discord, and I go, "You motherfucker!
You son of a bitch!" We're gonna step away for a second. We'll be right back, and then you just go back there. You
The mic can hear me
motherfucker!
faintly. You mother! I gave you something.
I made this for you. So yeah, apologies to anyone who thought I meant I was retired from D&D. I'm not. I was talking about Chris Perkins, and you know how it is. It's clickbait. It's just apparently what we got to do nowadays.
It worked. It worked.
It worked. It got you here. It got you here. Read your sticky little hands. It fucking got you here.
Doofuses.
Yes. Teachers. Yes.
Teachers, yes.
So, one of the things about the dopamine hits is I've seen videos and shorts all the time of teachers being like, it is super hard to fucking teach because, and I didn't even think about this. I don't know what the tech level was like when you were a student. I know what the tech level was like when I was
when the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Yeah, fuck you. But I mean, I didn't have a smartphone. You know, smartphones didn't exist until I was in the workforce. You know, so you don't bring laptops to class either. So like, yeah, I was bored and my stimulation was drawing. You know, so like, but teachers are essentially talking about it is incredibly hard to teach nowadays because everyone, like, even if you're like taking away all the phones, people can't fucking focus because they're not getting that dopamine drip in their brain, which is you pulling out your mini computer and you do it, I do it, our audience does it. Don't tell me you don't fucking do it. I hate Twitter. I'm scrolling it all the time. I'm getting nothing out of it. It gives me nothing. And yet
I hate. Oh, go.
No. I'm right there with you because I'm still flashing the screen. And everything's a fucking TikTok now. So like, whatever platform I'm on, I will just start scrolling shorts of the short form videos. I'm back on Facebook, boo, but I use it for, I have to use it for ads for IO publishing, which means I have to have a Facebook account because if I just have a Facebook ad account without a Facebook account, it gets flagged and it gets locked down all the time because they can't authenticate who I am. So I have to have a Facebook. I have to follow people. I have to post on it occasionally. It fucking sucks. But what's been good about Facebook. Who thought anyone was gonna fucking say that? Is that it's connected? It connected me with old friends before I started content creating. That was nice. And everyone, I just assumed everyone was gonna fucking hate me because I essentially abandoned everyone for career. And people have been like, "Oh my God, you're back! Blah blah blah. It's so good to hear." And then you're just kind of recollecting everything. So. But that's not the main point. The main point is if I'm on Twitter, which I don't want to be on Twitter, I will eventually get to a short form content and then scroll. And I'm just getting this constant feed of some bite-sized entertainment. And if I don't like it, it's TikTok. It's TikTok. Everything's TikTok now. So if I'm on Twitter, I'm going to find a short and I'm going to scroll. Facebook also has reels and shorts that you will kick yourself in a fucking endless loop, scrolling. And if I'm on YouTube, guess what, jackass? Scroll. If I'm out on the living room watching YouTube, I'm doing the same fucking thing. I'm just getting that dopamine feed in my fucking brain. So imagine developing minds now getting this fucking liquid dopamine in their heads and then telling them for 6 hours a day or however long the school day is now that you can't have your phones, you can't be doing that.
Have it.
Yeah.
Awful.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't even imagine.
Nope.
If like, I want to one day, and I'm afraid to do it, I want to one day just throw my phone in like a safe and just see what happens. And like, stay off, get offline, get off the computer and just see what happens. I think I would be fucking miserable. I think I'd be losing my goddamn mind. personally. I think I
So,
would.
Here's my thing. Whenever we go out, right? Whenever we go out, a
Yeah.
big thing that I see is that a lot of my friends are on their phones, right?
Yeah.
When we're out, and I've always sort of made it a rule that when we're out, I'm not on my phone.
Yes, same.
So I'll be the weirdo who sat at a fucking restaurant table, like hands folded together, my phone in my pocket, and I'm just watching my friends.
Everyone's
scroll,
on their phone? No.
and I sit there like a weirdo, and I'm like,
If
see the weather outside?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
if I check my phone just because there's a lull, the first thing I say is I'm sorry, because it's just more of just like, let me just make sure everything's fine. Okay, everything's good. I put my phone away. Like, make sure there's no like pending messages or anything, right? Because I'm also the same way. If I'm out, I will do my damnedest to not have my phone out, because that just feels rude to me. That we're out, we're hanging out, I'm not gonna pull my phone. But maybe there is a generation of people that's commonplace, because because I'm also thinking like, this is me as a 40-year-old man, but like phones have been out, or smartphones especially, like, and I'm not talking about like the BlackBerry, which I did have, by the way. I did have a BlackBerry once upon a time. That was a funny year and a half of just having a BlackBerry. Because Blackberries were the big fucking thing, You're like, oh my god, this is the future. And then
That's a businessman right there.
and then iPhone Androids came out, and you're just like, wait a minute, I can do what on this thing? I can watch YouTube. I can play. I knew it was the future when I got my first Android, and I went to the Android marketplace, and I downloaded a Super Nintendo emulator, and then I downloaded ROMs just from the marketplace, and then I played Super Nintendo on my smartphone. I was like, what?
Oh my god!
And it worked perfectly, and everything was. I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I
What
mean?
am I looking at right now?
Yeah.
Is this the thing I had when I was a young boy?
Yeah.
Now in my hand while I am much older.
Yeah. It was like
Crazy.
It was like, oh my god, holy shit, So that's so technology is just fucking ruined us. we want satisfaction now. We are always going to consistently try to pursue that I need it now gap to astronomical levels. Like I wonder what 20 years from now is going to be like.
Ooh, that'll be See, I grew up, like you said, the technology level of like where you grew up and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, so what I was getting at, I'm jumping topic to topic, was when I was in high school, I had a flip phone. Like that was my cell phone, was a flip phone, like a flat phone. Yep. Those were when cell phones were starting to get popular. So I did not have technology in the classroom. In fact, when I went to a tech school at junior and senior year of high school, they originally had computers in the classroom. And not only did they have computers in the classroom, they had no administrative lockdown, which means you could go wherever you want, download whatever you want, and played whatever you want.
Crazy.
That lasted for about 2 months before they actually got an admin team in, and they were like, we're locking all this shit down.
Shut it down.
Yeah,
shut it down.
we're locking this shit down. Because I was downloading emulators, I was playing ROMs, I was doing all. I was, during one of my coding classes, I was playing Warcraft 3. Like,
nice.
Oh my god, like it was the fucking best, dude. It was the fucking. But then the admins came in and they were like, we're gonna lock this shit down. We're locking it down, and the English, I think there were actually sub teachers that were like, we don't need computers in here. I'm a fucking English teacher. We don't need computers. Yeah, just get rid of them. And so a lot of the classes just started, like, computers just started disappearing. You're like, God damn it. God damn it. Fuck, you know, I fucking hate that shit, you know. But our library also had computers, so I was installing RPG Maker all the time and just working on that, you know, and it's just...
Hell yeah.
Oh my God, dude. High school was great. But what I'm saying is, I did not grow up with technology in the classroom. Unlike, you know, like your generation and the 20-something-year-olds who probably had cell phones and smartphones. This is elementary school, you know?
Oh, so not me. I think the first phone I ever had, it was a old school like flip phone, while everybody else had like nicer phones, and the whole purpose of that phone was to keep in contact with my parents.
Okay, was this during the smartphone era?
This was during middle school.
What year was that?
So 2007.
Okay, so literally that following year, iPhones were coming out. Yeah.
I kept my flip phones until I joined the Navy.
Very cool.
The Navy is when I got my first smartphone, and it was like it was like a caveman discovering fire for the first time. Yeah. My school had the middle school I went to had a computer lab, which is where we did our computer classes, and it was how you learned how to type and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then my high school had none of that. It had none of that.
Underfunded. Got it.
Correct. No, the funding went to our sports teams. So
great.
All the teachers had computers, but we didn't have like a computer lab or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think we got a computer lab in my junior year of high school, but it was like super regulated. Like you couldn't like the only thing you could do is play like cool math games and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then, I think technology was a big part of my life in a different way. My mom gave me her first MacBook, like the first like MacBook laptop that came out. She got it from her dad, and then she broke it, where you needed to have a charger in it all the time for it to work because Apple products are fucking dog shit awful.
Yeah, Jesus.
And she gave me that, and I was like, oh my God, computer. And at first she was like, yeah, you can only use it to do your homework. And I was like, okay. And then we both realized none of my homework would ever be on the computer. And then she eventually just stopped. Like, she eventually just started letting me have it whenever I wanted. And then that's when I got into stuff like RuneScape and MySpace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And RuneScape was a huge part of my life. I was playing RuneScape when like World of Warcraft came out.
Yeah.
And my friends were like, oh my God, dude, World of Warcraft, it's amazing. And I was like, I remember looking at World of Warcraft and being like, that looks fucking lame. That looks dumb as I'm playing my pixel medieval point and click adventure game.
Dude, I played RuneScape in like the early 2000s, like 2001. Like I was playing old RuneScape. Like before World of Warcraft came out. Yeah.
And I remember joining the Navy and still having like it was one of the ones that you could, one of the flip phones that you could like swipe up.
Yeah.
And you would get a keyboard. That like I was a fucking texting monster on that thing.
Yes.
While everybody else is playing on like their iPhones and shit like that, I'm like
dude,
1,000 words a minute type shit.
My first cell phone, it was like one of those either flip phones or those flat phones, where to text, since you didn't have a fucking keyboard, the phone was tiny, you had to use key presses. You had to use.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so, if you wanted to like type out a specific letter, you had to at through all the key presses of each thing. But we were just entering the technology where if you typed a certain series of keys, it would predict the word you were trying to type. And I was just like, exactly, I was a texting fiend with those 9 keys. I somehow knew exactly where all the letters were in the 9 fucking keys that were there. My texts were quick and accurate and perfect. And nowadays, I suck at typing on smartphones. I am constantly...
My big fat fingers,
oh,
yeah, man.
my God. T9. So now I'm just constantly just kind of... like, I can't spell shit. I will look something up on Google on my phone. I know I will probably misspell half of the words. And now I have to trust Google to be like, figure it out. Like, figure out what words I wanted, you know? And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, you know, it figures it out. It's like, did you mean when does the sun come up? I'm like, yeah, that's right.
That's the word.
There's the word. I can't. So, but I think about that fondly, my first phone, and just being like, God, I could text people so easily with no errors. Nowadays, if I text anyone on a phone, I have to look at it and go, God damn it, I gotta back up. Or if I'm making God forbid, I'm making a post on my Discord. I'm like, I gotta look at that and go, son of a bit. Now,
is that word spelled right? Is that
no? Jesus Christ, dude. You know,
is it 2 E's?
it's so fucking no. It's just like X's and Z's are miscellaneous in there because of my fat fucking thumbs, and my phone's like, yeah, that's what you meant to say, and I'm like, no, it wasn't.
You might have to type employed with 4 E's. Yeah, man. Why would you autocorrect that? That's not even remotely close. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm just a robot.
There isn't a ZX that employed. What the fuck, man? Jesus.
I hate my stupid computer, but I also can't live without it.
Yep. That's it. So yeah, nowadays, kids are just so like, if they aren't getting this frequent supply of dopamine, they just can't focus. So you're trying to like teach a thing, and the kids are just apparently fucking losing their minds because nothing's engaging them. The dopamine's not hitting. So like there are people. So what some teachers have started to do is they've started making short form content of the lessons, like in like TikTok styles and stuff like that, because it's the only thing that can get kids engaged to pay attention. You know, if there's something on the screen, you know, they can't do it themselves. They have to, all right, watch the TV screen, and and you're just like, oh my God.
But does it work is my question. Like, if it works,
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
You know, there's something to be said about adapting to the new generation, right? Like there was the moment, right, where like teachers went from being able to beat the ever living shit out of you to,
no, there's not. No, there's not. No, there's no adjustment. Whatever this new math is that people are doing, it's fucking dumb, and I don't get it. New math is...
It's not for us. It's not for... I don't have to do fucking high school homework anymore. I don't give a shit how complicated math is nowadays.
You're like, oh yeah, it's this. You're like, wrong. You gotta break it down. You gotta do the math. Like, you gotta break down everything to get... I think that what the new math is, this new math that students have to go through, I think it's more about problem solving than it actually is about coming to the answer. Is my theory behind what the whole point of this, because if you did old math, if you did old, you know, the old way to do it, and then still got the same answer, you would actually apparently lose points in these new math tests, because you're supposed to you have to break the numbers down before you multiply. I don't fucking know what it is. It's so but it's overly complicated. It's a slower way to get the answer, but I feel like they're doing it to like for some sort of problem solving skill. You know what I mean? Some sort of, that's my theory. But then also when it comes to our education system, I think I'm giving it too much credit. I think I genuinely giving it too much credit, because Jesus Christ, we've got a terrible education system. I told this to my dad the other day. I can't even take it seriously when someone goes, yeah, America #1. I'm like, no, fuck no, we're not #1. We haven't been #1 in anything. Biggest military. That is.
That's right, baby. That's all that matters.
All we're number one on, you know. And
sir.
You can call me a stupid liberal and go woke, go broke, but guess what? You know, everyone's broke now, and Trump's the least woke of them all, and he fucking broke the economy. So don't come swinging at me. All I'm saying is, you get to claim you're number one when you're actually number one. I love nothing more than bragging about shit when I've got the numbers to back me up. Because the best you're gonna be able to do is come to me and be like, all right, asshole. Like, you can't, if I'm like, yeah, I'm number one in this, and you're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, bitch. And I point at the thing that says I'm number one, and I break it down for you, and you just go, whatever, you're still a fucking ass. You're like, yep, still number one. Like that.
Still number one, baby. That's all right.
That is what we should be doing. Because if we're not doing that, then it's propaganda.
What?
I'll say it. It's fucking propaganda at that point. Oh, what are you talking about?
What? No.
You mean America is propaganda? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way with
I'm immune to propaganda. They would never.
There's no fucking way, you know, that we don't have a fucking Fox propaganda channel that's running 24/7.
America's super machine. Super. I'm ready.
Dude, like it's just. Oh my God. Especially whenever something really terrible happens, I do look at Fox News. I want to go, how are you going to spin it? How are you going to spin this right now? Right. How are you going to fucking spin it? I want to know how clever you're going to make this lie.
Me sitting, fingers interlaced, waiting for them to tell me how the school shooting is my fault somehow. And I go, all right, I'm waiting. Come on.
That's
Put
what
the
I
burden
want.
on my shoulders, apparently.
Yeah, and now the takeaway that I'm seeing is, you mean the record-breaking market drops that's been the worst since 2020? This is actually a good thing because we're gonna be so rich now that American jobs are back in the States. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, if we,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm like,
to whom?
Fox News right now is the equivalent of standing in front of a giant burning building, and then their thumbs are pointing back at it, and like, this is such a good thing right now. You're not the real estate.
Just you wait, guys.
The real estate we're gonna get out of this burned building after we, let it burn down. Hopefully the fire doesn't spread, and then clean the fucking lot. I know it's gonna take a while, but dude. And then we build a house that looks exactly like the one we just burned down. Dude, you can't wait. You can't fucking wait right now for what's about to happen here. And
get locked in.
And the background's just it's just fire, it's just erupting, and like there's like a small explosion, and they're like, dude, we're healing. Oh shit. We're healing. Yeah, we're healing right now. I'm gonna get away from the fire though. I'm gonna get away from the fire.
5 steps back.
That's what it is, dude. Oh my God. I'm just sort of waiting for like, because I also feel like companies are gonna be like, hey, this isn't what we signed up for. Everyone's losing money. And everyone's got to spend more money. And if there's one thing that big money's not gonna let you do, is take away their goddamn money.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my fucking God. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this leads to a, like I said, something shitty has to happen for. I don't think we'll ever be unified, but something shitty has to happen for something to change. You know what I mean? Like something. Yeah. Absolutely, and this might be it, because we're not the only ones affected by this. Like the entire world is reeling right now because of these tariffs, this tariffs announcements. No one is, no one's winning right now. There's all a
lot of phone calls being made.
Yeah, it's bad. Everyone is feeling this right now because of just this crazy selfish attitude we've got. So, I don't know. We'll see. And I just want to meet the guy that's like, oh, man, this is going to be so good. I'm like, yeah?
Just wait. 5 years from now, you're going to put it. Just wait, baby.
Well, the argument is also that's being made is that Trump is trying to devalue the dollar on purpose so that rates will go down, you know, like then the Treasury has to step in and be like, we got to start dropping interest rates on loans because the money the US dollar is so fucking weak right now, you know. So but that feels like too big brain of a play, and also still feels like we're damaging a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Just so for this play.
That's a weird play.
Yeah. And I don't think it is the play at all.
I mean, that would have to be like, that would have to be somebody. That would have to be somebody telling him what to do.
Look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, if this ends up putting us in, like, if I'm not seeing the play, and like we all end up better off because of it, then yeah, egg on my face.
What if it like whips around somehow? Like this motherfucker like goes and it's like, guys, just a year of suffering, and then suddenly it whips around. Suddenly all student loan is like fucking abolished. Like you don't have to pay back your student loan suddenly, and everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck did this guy just do? And we're totally fine afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And so I'm just like, if that happens, which I don't think it's going to, like, let me be clear about this. It's not. But if it does happen, I definitely will not be the person that's like, yeah, well, but like, you're right. Oh, wow, damn. That's something we're gonna have to study for a while to see how this thing that has never worked in the history of our country, every single time it's attempted, has put us in a worse off position. Yeah, if it suddenly magically worked this time, sure, I'll give credit where credit's due. I don't think so, and people are starting to slowly speak up about it. I'm really good about it. I'm also of the tinfoil hat that we've got a Russian operative in the White House right now. So,
oh damn.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. But obviously that's very far out there. But who knows?
That's some tinfoil stuff, but also there's been moments where like a lot of people have said that.
Yeah.
Where people are like, yeah, man, are you fucking pulling out that guy's chair? That's kind of crazy, man. That's looks around. All right, man.
It is. It's just like there's plenty of evidence where you're just like, maybe I could believe that. I could totally believe that. And because I also, one thing I believe in Trump is he will do what he wants and what's good for him. He doesn't give a flying fuck about anyone. It's him, not his base, not his constituents, not even the people that work under. He does not fucking care about you. It's about him and him alone. And that kind of greed, you shouldn't trust. That kind of selfishness, you shouldn't trust. And yet here we are, round 2. You know what I mean?
I'm ready. Are you?
We brought him in again, and that's why I'm just like, I'm also kind of the sad, defeated mindset of whatever happens to us at this point, we probably have deserved, which fucking sucks to say. But because we got out of it, we fucking got out of it, and then we just went back into. There's a video that's been going around of it's a small stone video, or a room at the stone room with these people, and it's got a couple of goats, and they've got a furnace on to like heat the room up and things like that. And so they open the metal grate to put in some more fuel. And the goat fucking walks in to the furnace. Just walks in, this fiery, birdy, like, oh, I'm gonna go in here now. And the other's like, no! And like dragging this goat out, who's like, what? I wanna go in there. And it's like, no! Like pulls this goat, and you move him over here. And then the goat walks around the room and tries it again. Fucking tries it again.
Nice.
That's where I'm at right now. All I'm saying is
just like me, for real.
Yeah. And like, it feels to me like we just kind of stumbled into a furnace that we should have been in to begin with, and we've got pulled out like, whoa! Oh my God!
Hey!
Oh Jesus Christ! God, we got you out of that. I mean, yeah. Oh my God, a little scorched, a little burnt, but you're alive. And then
wiping brow off, with your back turned to them, like, ooh, all right. So this is why you don't ever do that.
Yeah, and then I walk around the room for 3.5 years, and then I go, but I mean, let's give it a go, and then I walk back in the furnace. That's what this feels like to me right now. Is just the consequences of our actions is what I feel like. It's just woof. God damn it.
Exhaust.
And there is sort of a sick side of me just to be like, how bad is it gonna get? Like, I just want to know. I want to see how bad it's gonna get.
Malta is lovely.
Yeah, Malta. Gay Island, Malta. Yes.
Lovely place
with the citadels and everything. That's right. We were talking when we were doing not unofficial dumpster delvers on your channel while you were working on maps because you were streaming that. We were talking about how Italy has this sort of generation citizenship where if your great grandparents, up to your great grandparents were Italian citizens, that you can also apply for that. And I went, oh, that's fucking sick, which means my great grandparents came from Italy. Shit. Okay, that maybe I'll give that a go. We were having conversations about that, and I just kind of like, ooh, I want to check out Italy. So I look it up that day, and literally 2 or 3 days prior, Italy had passed where they cut that generation cap in half because they were so annoyed and tired of people using that system to become Italian citizens and then not fucking being an Italian citizen. They're just like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna go to Italy, and I'm gonna do a little vacation. I'm not gonna live in Italy, of course. That's fucking stupid.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna toss some pizza around and eat some spaghetti, and I'm gonna fucking go home. And the Italian government was like, no,
stop it,
quit it. So they've recently passed. It's instead of 4 generations, it's now 2 generations that you can apply for. So they cut that. I still think I am able to, because my grandmother was an Italian citizen until she was 7, so I don't know what counts, when it comes to age, right? Mm-hmm. But technically my grandmother was an Italian citizen, and that would be 2 generations. So I don't know. We'll see. I was
I feel like you should be able to get it if your grandmother is.
But she was a kid, so I don't know. Do you have to be of a certain age to be considered a full-fledged citizen? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Can you? I don't know. Because
what defines a citizen?
If you're born here, don't we do if you're born here, you're a citizen?
I would think
you're
so.
You're born on American soil? Isn't that a thing?
Maybe.
I look around.
Well, it depends. I look you up and down, and I go, were you born here or Venezuela? If you're Venezuela, get the fuck out!
No.
Jesus fucking God. It's so stupid. It's all so dumb.
I still think that there's because isn't that a thing where if you're born on an airplane, you're a citizen of whatever
country you're born into? Yeah. Or if you're in Canada and you're pregnant in Canada, and then you're born in Canada, you're technically a Canadian citizen. I don't know. I don't know the legalities of it. I have heard that though. I have heard where you're born you're a citizen, but I don't know the legalities personally, because I know children of immigrants that aren't, where the parents are not citizens yet. Once upon a time we said, yeah, you're a citizen. Now you're a citizen. You're born here, and now we're trying to undo that. Yeah. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know. So, but that's okay, because I'm not okay, because also I think I saw. Well, what I'm saying is even though we're in the middle of this conversation, who knows? It doesn't fucking matter because a couple of days ago, Italy announced that they're pausing that program.
Stop it. Stop
temporarily until so you can't even apply for that anymore. They've temporarily suspended it. So so it really doesn't matter either way. No one's getting to the fucking country, you know.
You don't even know your great grandparents, asshole. You don't get to apply.
Yeah. Well, now they're just saying like, oh yeah, you can't apply for this right now. It doesn't matter if you are applicable. You can't apply for it. It's been suspended. A lot of citizenship programs are being suspended right now, and gee, I wonder why. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a weird time.
Very weird.
I hope we don't have another pandemic personally, because we're fucked if that's the case.
Oh my god, another pandemic? Well,
I think we'd be fucked. I think we'd be. We wouldn't be fucked, but there would be a lot of death. There would be a lot. Like if COVID came, like if COVID 2 came out. Right,
super COVID,
yeah, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. If COVID 2 came out, especially, I'm talking about our country, right? People became so anti-vax, so anti-quarantine, and a lot of people just genuinely felt like we blew it out of proportion. And why is that? Because we lived through it. Like, fuck off, dude, right? So so I do genuinely, like anti-mask, like all that shit. I genuinely fear that if we went through another pandemic, we would lose so much fucking life because people would be like, I'm not doing that. And our government would also not quarantine because they know that if they do, they're gonna lose, you know, especially if it's the Republicans, they're gonna lose because they're probably looking at 2020 with that happening, and we're probably like, that's probably why Trump lost, because COVID quarantines and masks and shit like that. So if Trump or the Republicans are in and a pandemic hits, they're gonna let that thing ride more than likely for as long as possible until there is literally an outcry by the people saying, you've gotta do something. People are fucking dying in the streets, and only then will they actually make a move, because the people will have to demand it. Because the people right now, or a lot of people are right now, are saying, "Oh, we blew it out of proportion." If there's another pandemic on us. Yeah, if there's another pandemic, we are in a lot of trouble, and you might as well just listen to news, listen to the news sources, the CDC and all that we're not a part of anymore. Hey,
yes,
and just come just come to our own senses and conclusions, and just fucking, like, you and I think will be fine because we work from home. We just stay indoors and we don't leave the house anyways, right? So
yep.
I think I think it's important to keep that ahead and keep the fingers crossed, because the future's really weird right now. And I said it before, I said it again, we're gonna need something big for us to unify and come together, and and whatever it is, it's gonna be bad, and it's gonna be of a historic proportion. It's the only way. We've become so incredibly ignorant of our own folly, you know. I know everything. We have become so the moment Trump got reelected, I was like, my God, we have become so ignorant. It was 4 years. We did not remember any of that. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just, it's crazy. It's terrifying. So it is what it is. So I've got a viewer request a topic for you. This was actually a good one that was sent a few weeks back by NerdLord57. It's a great question. I'll ask you, and then I have my own answers as well. Did you have any teachers or figures in your life that gave you some wisdom, who pushed you to more creative pursuits?
Oh, to more creative pursuits.
Essentially, a teacher that inspired and motivated you to, you know, that pushed you to be more creative? Maybe pushes it, like inspired or motivated you in some way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Let's hear your answer while I think. Let's hear your answer.
In high school, my junior year of high school, I went to a tech school. It was a very cool school that the state of Florida and a local college essentially was paying for, where you as a student got to take, you as a high school student got to go to this brand new beautiful building, and along with finishing your high school curriculum, you also got to start taking college courses in a field of your choice. And all of that was paid for by like investors and the state of Florida. So I was taking in Florida, I was taking college courses and I wasn't paying a dime for it. You know, really communist of Florida, you know, it really just, anyways. But I mean, it like something like that is insane. Like for Florida, Jesus Christ. So
yeah, Florida basically paying for the future is what
their students. Oh my God, as an adult looking back on that, I'm like, huge. Why did we stop? You know, I don't know. I don't know if there was because also in this school, they were like, we're only accepting 300 people, and you have to have a 3.0, and you have to have all of that. And we'll only accept you on a probational period if we can't meet the numbers. So we'll bring you in, you know what I mean? But then you're on probation and you've got to improve those grades.
Correct. You need to prove that you're willing to learn.
Exactly. So it was very
fucking crazy good still. Like that's a massive chance.
But if you applied and didn't have the 3.0 and they met the numbers, you weren't going to get in essentially. So they were looking for about 300 students. And I went, okay. And I applied and I was hoping I'd get it. And I got the letter and I got it. And come to find out, like no one, like barely anyone with a 3.0 applied. It was literally just a bunch. There were people that were academically available, but there were far more people that weren't, that managed to get into the school. People, you would think, and then that was also like, as an adult looking back, incredibly frustrating, because I'm like, motherfucker, this is free college. Like, fucking apply, you know? And
that's where you were frustrated. Okay.
Yeah, people didn't apply, you know? And I mean, obviously, I'm glad they didn't because I got to go. But like, holy fucking shit! How are we as a society not investing in every possibility for our children, especially if we're given the free opportunity to do so, right? So that, absolutely. Yeah, that was a little weird. So we did that, and also, by the way, I still wasn't getting the GPA, and I still was able to stay in the school because they were under students. There was
they needed students.
They needed people. They needed ass in the seats. Yeah. So that what ended up happening was just like not enough people applied, and then the following year, you got to stay around because again there was just never not enough interest. So after 4 years, they stopped doing that. And you're just like, holy fucking shit. Like it was as someone who went through school, those were the best, most educational, inspirational years of my educated life of pre-college. You know what I mean? Like those 2 years in that tech school shaped me into the person I am today. Like, and so that is also why I was increasingly frustrated that people weren't taking this more seriously and that we essentially abandoned it. I was like, and that part of that was on us as citizens, which was, again, it really, you know, now that the pieces are coming together and I'm kind of seeing where our education is nowadays and where our education is going to be going because of what we're changing and all that shit, like this has been an issue for a very long time, and this is why we are not number one in education. This is why we are usually dead last in fucking on the bottom of the barrel of education. It's because we don't have the drive either to take those opportunities. So So yeah, I mean,
Well, it might be fear.
you think so?
It might be. I mean, it might be fear of like, because there's at some point in your life, maybe somebody will tell you, "Hey, nothing in this world is free.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give something to get something." So maybe it was like a fear.
Oh, like a what's the
scenario.
catch? What's the catch?
Yeah, like oh, I get to just go to college for free. That's not true. I know I have to take out a lot of money to do that. What is the catch?
Yeah, so you're
man?
taking college courses, and here's the if your GPA was high enough, so the college courses were just more of like your the field you were going to go into. But if your GPA was high enough, you were also able to take college math and college English as well.
Oh,
Free of charge while at high school. Yeah, like it's so much opportunities. So, and I would say this is what I would say about that school. I kind of liked the fact that a bunch of 3.0 kids weren't selected. That it was like genuine interested people of college who had the 3.0 GPA, and then just a bunch of misfits with a low GPA. The other problem was I felt like it was getting to the point where cities, like the first 2 years were great. People genuinely wanted to be there. But then like the last 2 years, it felt like schools were just dumping off their problem children in the school.
Oh.
That they didn't want to deal with anymore.
Interesting.
And because the tech school wasn't making the numbers, they would take them. And so it was just people who didn't want to be there, and that's where I think it also fell apart. So there was a lot of failings as to what that happened. But at its core, right, for when I was there, for the 2 years that I was there, you were presenting an opportunity for those that wanted to be challenged, the people with the 3.0, and you were giving a chance to people where the school system was failing them.
Correct.
And putting them in it, because also what was cool about this school is you had a college schedule, which means even though you were taking high school courses, you were being treated like a college student. So you weren't doing the 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. You're like, Monday, you've got 3 courses. You've got an hour and a half break here. Then you have this course, and then you go to lunch, and everyone had different schedules to get you used to college, to get you ready and prepare for college schedules.
Damn.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, I had a class from 8 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. And then I didn't have class again until 1 in the afternoon. And then after that, I had, those were my 2 courses, and that was it for the whole day. So fucking good. So fucking good. So fucking good. Oh my god. I did. Like I said, those were my best years in pre-college were those years. But the original question, so I was going to this school. You know what I mean? I was going over here and going to the school, and I would talk. I had a digital media teacher who was teaching us, because I went for digital media. So our first digital media courses were learning Photoshop. Learning Photoshop and learning all this shit. You know what I mean? Was learning Photoshop, was learning Illustrator, was learning the Adobe programs, and I just couldn't figure it out. The pen tool especially just threw me for a loop, and I had to do like a bunch of tracing, I had to show tool exercises, and I just and I wasn't able to get it done. I couldn't get any of the projects done, and I sort of kind of gave up on it, and just kind of accepted I was just gonna have a shit grade. So on the one of the final days or one of the other week, the teacher comes up to me, and she's this kind old woman, and she goes, Brett, I see you haven't done any of these assignments. Because I was probably gonna wasn't gonna do well in the course. And I was just trying to get it done. I couldn't get it to work, and I was just sort of getting frustrated and was gonna give up. And I forget how the meeting happened, but she essentially approached me and was just like, hey, I've seen you haven't been turning anything in. You know, you haven't been turning anything in. You haven't been doing anything in. You know, why? Like, why haven't you done the homework? Why are you doing poor on the test? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's just, maybe it's just not for me, blah, blah. And I just kind of accepted like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm struggling. Like, I didn't really have an answer. And she just looked at me and she says, do you have attention deficit disorder? And I went,
Huh?
I went, yeah, I was a Ritalin kid. I was taking Ritalin since like kindergarten, essentially. It gave Ritalin to everyone. But so I went, yes. You know, like yes, I do. You know, like that's, I absolutely do. Like I was diagnosed and everything, you know? And she said, I could see that. I can kind of figure that. And so she went, okay, so and she sat me down. So, okay, so what are you having trouble with? What are you having a difficulty with? And it was the first time a teacher sat me down, and instead of just being like, because usually teachers would be like, hey, you need to do good on this final or you're fail. So like, get your ass to gear, you know? And she was like, okay, so, you know, what are you what is the stop here? What are you struggling with? And I'm like, oh, I just don't get this. I don't understand this. And what it was, my wall was the pen tool. I did not understand how the pen tool worked. And how it made curves, because originally you would, the way the pen tool used to work was like, you'd make a point and then you'd form another point and then you kind of like drag the mouse to make the curve. The problem was when you did that and then you made another point, it already starts that second point at like this curve between the 3 points. So you're not really able to trace around, kind of deal. So
Interesting.
I just couldn't figure it out. I just could not fucking comprehend it. You know what I mean? So she went, okay, you know, so we do this, you know, and I'm trying to figure it out with the points, and I couldn't figure it out. But at some point in time, what I end up doing is I just kind of go point, and I kept like tracing it around. And I was like, is it okay if I do this? And she just kind of went, yeah, that's fine. You can do it that way. Like, I'll let you do it that way, just so you can do it. And she said, and then so after that conversation, she said, so here's what we're going to do today, because it was just me and her, you know, it was the after hours. She's like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to give you all of your homework assignments again, and you're going to do them here. And then if you do this and you do it satisfactory, I will give you, instead of the failing grades for missing, because a lot of teachers would also be like, well, I can't give you the full points because it's late. She's like, I will give you the grade. I will give you the appropriate grade. And we'll do this, you know, until you are at a passing level so you can pass this class. And I went, oh my God, like second chance, yeah. So yes. So I absolutely did that. And some point during there, I kind of began to understand the pen tool a little bit. And if I had any questions, I answered them. And I had a better understanding of Photoshop and Illustrator in that one day that I did that entire semester, because she took the time to sit me down and went, all right, so this is what you need. You know, we're going to do it this way. And yeah, it was the first time a teacher, this is a college professor, and this is the first time the teacher was invested in my future. And because of that is the only reason why I'm able to do what I do today, that I am so proficient in, because I consider myself very proficient in Photoshop. Like, I'm very good at Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop now for 24 years. You know, I've used Photoshop for my jobs, you know, and because of Photoshop, I've gotten into other Adobe programs. And then from those Adobe programs, I learned video editing. I've learned sound editing. I've learned typography and digital design work. There would not be a book out if I didn't know these programs. I would not have a book release.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm using InDesign, which is an Adobe project. And I've learned like Quark and stuff like that. I learned like layouts in school. But those were the stepping stones to learn about design, to learn about good design and rules of three and all that shit. And it specifically was because that first roadblock, which I would have just said, well, this ain't for me, I'm gonna have to figure out something else, you know. A teacher sat me down and went, no, you know what it is, you just don't know how to hop over it, you know. Let me show you. And it just completely opened up my world, and now I'm doing what I want to do, and I totally would not be if I didn't get over that roadblock. And she was a great teacher. She lasted a year. I don't know. I don't know why because they stopped giving her classes eventually. And so I'm not really certain as to why. Because also at the same time, she didn't take any shit. If you were being an ass, she was gonna call you out on it. But she was a teacher that wanted you to succeed. You know, she wanted you to succeed. She wanted you to do well. And I don't know, maybe there was something about that teaching style. The school was just like, but that's not what professors do. I don't know. All I know is she was
always politics in it.
Yeah. So all I know was she was oh yeah, but that was also another if the school was failing, she called them out too, you know. She didn't.
Oh, that's why. That's why she didn't get any more students.
Yeah. So she was
not like that.
She was not playing ball with them, but she was the best teacher ever. And again, I would not be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for her, you know. So it's just, I feel really good about graphic. I feel really good about design. I feel good about the programs that I use, and yeah, absolutely. So do you have an answer, Crown? An acceptable answer is also no.
So I don't remember any teachers specifically that inspired me.
Figures.
I remember negative teachers more than I remember good teachers.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the biggest inspiration for me is two figures. One was my HM1, who he's not an HM1 anymore. I'm pretty sure he's a chief and well beyond, because that motherfucker is a career man.
Ooh.
This man, whom I met while I was at RTC, basically, he was an FMF corpsman. He was a field corpsman. He was a green corpsman. And he went through and he was asking all of us what we aspire to be, what we aspire to be, what our rates are going to be. Because during that, you're just a recruit. You don't have your rate yet. You are a nobody. And he gets to me and he looks at me and he's like, "What do you want to be?" And I was like, I aspire to be an FMF corpsman, because that's what I wanted to be. And I didn't know at the time that he was one. I didn't realize that the pin over his chest was the FMF pin. And I remember this like dawning look as he stares at me, and he's like, "Oh yeah? You want to do what I do?" And I was like, oh fuck. Like, I had just put the biggest target on my back ever. And I did. For the entirety of RTC while I was there, that motherfucker hounded me. Everything I did was not good enough.
Oh no.
It was like, I remember getting ready for Firewatch and I'm shaving my face and everything like that, and somebody fucked up in the barracks, and they're getting drilled hard. And I'm shaving, and I don't immediately realize that, you know, it's
I just imagine you just being like,
I'm shaving, and I don't realize that it's the whole division behind me getting fucking obliterated right now. I thought it was one dude, and then I remember he stops and he's like, "Wait, where the fuck is Crowned?" And I'm like, huh? And I wash my face off and I roll out there, and he's like, "You here now?" And I was like, "Petty officer," and I fucking roll up. And I have to start doing burpees in front of him. And I'm in front of the whole division doing burpees.
Yeah.
I'm getting my shit rocked.
Yeah.
Because mind you, when I joined the Navy, I was not physically fit at all.
Right.
I basically starved 50 pounds off of myself
Jesus.
to be able to get into the Navy. So when I got there, I couldn't even do push-ups.
You were meek.
I was nothing. This motherfucker, during our first PT, I wind it back a little bit. During our first PT, they're like, all right, we're going to see what you can do. And we're doing push-ups, sit-ups, basically all this stuff. And I'm struggling to do a push-up. And this was after I had told him that I wanted to be an FMF corpsman. And I remember him squatting down next to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, Crowned, the only thing you're going to be good for is to take the letter that Marines carry in their shoulder pocket and give it to their family after they die. That's the only thing you're going to be good for.
Holy shit.
And he walked off. And I remember sitting there, like, struggling to hold myself up. And I'm like, this motherfucker. It was literal hell is the only way that I could describe it. And I remember like just getting roasted nonstop. Like every issue was my issue suddenly.
Yeah.
I remember running and he's like, if I say you fucking slow down, Crown, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And I remember getting all the way to the end. All the way, like I pass all of my tests. We get all the way to the end.
Yeah.
We're part of the 900 divisions, and the 900 divisions are the ones that do the ceremonies for the rest of the graduation. You're the one who presents the rest of the divisions for graduation.
Right.
And I remember we're doing marching, and I did JROTC in high school. That's the whole reason I'm part of a 900 division. I was part of swim team for 4 years. I was part of JV and varsity. And then I did JROTC, and I was part of the color guard division. So I was doing all of that shit in high school. And I remember I'm marching, and he's like, Crowned, I don't want you in there. He's like, you don't know how to march. And I remember getting like indignant. I was like, Petty Officer, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I know how to march better than these guys. And he was like, oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
Fucking prove it. And he's like, fucking prove it. And I remember him drilling the shit out of me as he's like, left face, right face, about face, left face. And it's that for like 20 minutes of nonstop fucking drilling. And at the end, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. And he's like, yeah, I guess you can be on the team, Crowned. And I was like, fuck you, dude. I remember just feeling that the entire time.
That's so funny.
At the very end, when we're doing our final PT test, and I've improved dramatically. Suddenly I can do like 100 push-ups. Suddenly I can do 100 sit-ups. I can run a decent time. Cardio always sucks. And I remember at the very end when I'm running, he jumps out with me at like the final 2 laps, and he's running alongside me. He's like, keep my pace, do not slow down, keep my pace. We're gonna kick it up. And I remember sitting there at that moment. I didn't feel frustration. I felt like this
determination,
swell of pride, almost. And I was like, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker. Like, like I'm going to, like, he's telling me to keep the pace, but I'm like, I'm gonna beat that pace. I finish it. He doesn't even like say anything. He just pats me on the back. He leaves. We do our final we do like the 24-hour stay up at the end where you have to do where you basically go through a simulation of a destroyer getting hit by a cruise missile, and it's like all hands on deck. You're basically going through every area and basically doing little simulations. And it's like it's not life size, but it's a massive like simulated destroyer underneath the base that they rock. There's fires that you have to put out and stuff like that. At the very end of that, once you've done all of that, you stand in formation and your instructors come through. Yeah. And they swap out your cap. At the very beginning, you get a cap that says recruit, and you wear that for like ever. Until the very end, in which they take your recruit cap and they hand you a cap that says Navy. And I'm watching my HM1 walk through, and he's just shaking hands. He's like, congratulations, good job, congratulations, well done, you did it. And then he stops in front of me, and I remember him shaking my hand, and he's like, Crowned, I know you're going to be the best goddamn corpsman in the fleet.
Oh.
And it makes me proud to hand you this. And I remember shaking his hands, and I'm fucking like stone-faced, but I'm crying because I'm still at attention.
Yeah.
And the fucking tears welling down my face as he's like, I'm proud of you. And then he walks to the next guy, and he's like, congratulations, well done, next guy. And
that's great.
If anybody ever was a person who inspired me or motivated me, it would be that man. And one of my biggest regrets ever in my entire life is that my leg injury kept me from doing more.
Well, yeah, but also that's not, I know that's definitely regrets, and that definitely sucks, but I mean, like, you know, that I definitely feel like was out of your realm of, you know, out of your control, right? But also, I genuinely feel like it should have, it taught you something, you know, that it gave you a sense of drive, you know what I mean? It to me, I feel like is a lesson that is like spirit deep, you know what I mean? That is, it's definitely gonna stick with you with no matter what you do, you know, in that direction. So I think personally that should be the takeaway of what you've learned about specifically about yourself when it came to that, and the determination that you have within you, you know, because you know for a fact that any lesser person would have been like, fuck this, and then been out. You know what I mean? Like, he clearly saw a drive in you when you were like, I want that. And he's like, oh yeah, motherfucker. Like, yeah. He's like, all right, time to turn this rock into a beautiful diamond. And yeah, he did that specifically because you had that drive. So I think that was more of like a education on yourself. You know what I mean?
What I really enjoyed was something that was told to me while I was was that I was a shitty sailor, but I was an amazing corpsman. Because you have to be a sailor first when you're in the Navy. Mm-hmm. I was a really bad sailor. Like, I did not really give, like, I loved medicine. Yeah. I did not give a shit about like uniform press or presentation or colors or anything like that. I did not give a single shit about that. I loved going to work and going to the hospital and like helping people. That was like my favorite thing. And I remember explicitly the chief who took over my clinic talking to me, and they're reading my reviews and everything. They're talking to the doctors that I work with, and she's like, Crowned, you are an amazing corpsman. You are like, you have a passion for this that I have not seen in years. Mm-hmm. But you are the worst sailor I have ever had. And I was like, I understand, Chief. Understood, Chief. Thank you very much.
So, sometimes there are things that you'll be told about yourself, like you're the worst whatever, right? And you're not even upset about that. You're just like, correct. Acknowledged. Yeah, I
understood. Yes.
I'm more embarrassed that you also see this, but yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna argue that. Good stuff. Yeah. Hey, Crown.
Yes, sir.
That's a podcast.
Nice. Well done.
That's a podcast and a half. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Constantly hammering on. Well, this has been a fun go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd be so kind, please join us on Patreon, patreon.com/worldofio to get MP3s and full episodes in MP3 format. We are actually about to go offline to do our aftercast, which is Inside the Dumpster, where we will read off a D&D we'll read off a D&D horror story and talk about that briefly, so make sure you guys join us for that. If you want to join us over on Patreon, patreon.com/dumpsterdelvers. We've got tiers for MP3s, tiers for our post-show, tiers if you want to give a little bit extra, and we also have our big tier, which is Grandma's Garage Sale. And wouldn't you know it, we've got a second person who joined the Grandma's Garage Sale. Thank you very much to Ballo M for helping us out and sort of sponsoring the gig. Yeah, I really do appreciate that. And Granny Smith, who no longer goes by Granny Smith Crowned, now goes by Checks Notes, Onion Farmer Tim. Onion Farmer Tim wants to let you know that when life gives you onions, make Onionade. I hate Onionade.
Oh, no. Onion Farmer Tim's having a really bad time.
Yeah, Onion Farmer Tim, I'm so sorry you don't like the Onionade that you've made. Would you have Onionade, Crown?
No, there's Popeyes is doing like a pickleade or something like that.
Okay.
I watched somebody drink it and I went, that's evil. That's like vile wickedness that you are drinking into your body.
That's gross. That's gross. You know what? Onionade isn't. Yeah, French onion soup's pretty good, but I think Onionade and French onion soup are two different things.
If I handed you a cup, of French onion soup without the cheese, just the broth.
Oh, I'd eat that.
And I go, here you go.
Yeah.
Would you drink it?
Absolutely. So flavorful. I'm a broth head though. I do like broth. Like, have you ever had pho before?
I don't think I have. No.
Yeah.
That's Vietnamese, right?
Yes, Vietnamese like noodles and stuff like that. Oh yeah. Vietnamese like noodle soup, but it's made with like a bone broth, and it boils like meat inside and all sorts of stuff. I would just drink that broth. That's my favorite part with the like all the meats and stuff at the bottom, because the meat as it's cooking is also instilling into the broth. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
But what if it's cold?
No, that would be hard. That would be difficult. Yeah, if you're giving me like French onion soup poured in like a glass of ice, I don't think I could. I don't think that's. I don't think I could stomach that. I don't think I could stomach that whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, because there's not warm lemonade, right? So like Onionade and French onion soup is going to be handed to you cold. With ice cubes.
Because I was about to say, I mean, you could drink lemonade cold. I would not drink French onion soup lukewarm or room temperature. Like, absolutely not. Crowned, I am happy to announce we have 20 members of our Patreon are $10 and above.
God damn.
We met the goal, and as promised, here's what's going to happen probably this month. Once we get our Patreon deposit, which will be happening, I believe, tomorrow, we're going to be using part of that to get Crowned a beautiful webcam. And then during our Inside the Dumpster episode, we will make that a video episode. I will consume a habanero pepper on the Patreon and have a good time. I think it'll be a fun time. I think it's just going to be me suffering a little bit. I've had habaneros before. And we've also agreed that if we can get that number to 50 members that are $10 and above, Crown will do the same thing. So, and I'll join him with another habanero at that point. And then we'll both suffer together.
Nice.
Yeah. For you, the wonderful Dumpster Delver community. Also want to let you know, youtube.com/@dumpsterdelvers. Really hate how they do that now. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, please subscribe to us. I know sometimes you don't want to subscribe because you don't need to subscribe, but it actually helps us out, because if we get to 1,000 subscribers and eventually get to our watch hours, which we are getting to, by the way, I think we're very close to get memberships turned on. Then we just
that was something we had talked about.
Yeah, and then we just need 1,000 more watch hours after that. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers, which we will eventually, we can then apply for a YouTube partnership so that we can get monetization and everything like that. So that is going to be a grand, fun time. So
Nice.
yeah, so make sure you guys, so guys, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're currently at 772 members. We just need 227 members now to get our subscription. So,
Hell yeah.
so make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys join the Patreon. And yeah, look forward to it. We got some good content coming out. All right, that's it. That's a cast. Everyone, we'll see you the next time.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.